First there was a fire, a huge column of smoke rising from Beirut's port. Then a massive explosion. The force of the blast was so strong, its shockwaves blew out glass and tore buildings across the city, ripping balconies off onto the street.
But you're close.
So I knew something.
Okay, people think, what did they report? What did the news report?
Fireworks.
Yeah. Fireworks plant caught on fire too close to a fertilizer storage plant.
Well, no, they had 2,700 tons of ammonium nitrate.
Okay, all right.
That's what they claim.
Yeah. Okay, the bullshit meter's really deep on that one. What happened is, what happened is this.
There was tunnels under that sucker. Evergreen's a shipping company. Hillary Rodham Clinton. See, when we remove the politics, the right, the left, and we start to look at the evil, George Bush was evil, Hillary Rodham Clinton's evil, Obama's evil, you start to really recognize that these are big corporations doing some very, very, very evil stuff.
I'm not going to write the name down here. These are 3 cargo container companies that we've identified as child trafficking companies. One is owned by Hillary Rodham Clinton's foundation. One is owned by Paul Pelosi, Nancy's husband. Okay, so we went into Pier 45 in San Francisco and we burned it to the ground.
When was this?
A couple months ago. Okay, in Beirut, in Hong Kong, at the fires in Brussels at the World Trade Center, several other big major fires that have happened in the last couple of weeks. We've been taking out evergreen all over the world.
Nice.
In Beirut,
What is evergreen?
It's just like a big
cargo container company, shipping containers. Okay, we've been taking evergreen out all over the world. So in Beirut, since we train Mossad, Israeli military industries, we sent them into the tunnels to rescue all the children under about 2.5 square block area. They even had an underground hospital, underground dormitory, underground everything. Lots of children under there. And we sent them in, and they came out, and they lit the place on fire, and that's why you saw smoke long before the missiles hit. It was on fire. It's pretty hard to burn down concrete and steel. It's real hard to burn it. So anyway, they spread some stuff around in there, and they lit it on fire to cause a smoke screen. Because if you remember how that sat, you had that kind of island, and you had 3 buildings like this, and then you had a big glass building like this, and most of the town is over here. This building was designed to stop the blast, right? What's that?
Are they silos? Green silos?
No, these are concrete
They're structures.
structures. Okay, they're filled with evergreen shipping containers, and underneath is child trafficking tunnels all over underneath.
I knew that.
They'll lead clear into the city, mainly led into this building, so the trucks can back up over here and pick them up. Okay? So they went in there, they rescued the kids, they set the building on fire, and then our military estimates engineering. Depending on the width of the concrete wall, how much steel reinforcement rebar they think is inside the wall, how many shipping containers around the outside of the wall, they try and estimate what size bomb to throw in there to take that out. They don't care if this building hits, they're trafficking them out of that building too. So they didn't care if that one blew up either. But this is what they were after. So they estimated what size bomb. And they happened to, in this case, use a Moab. A mother of all bombs. Well, in between the time intelligence went in and located the kids and planned the mission, and the mission took place, some containers had been moved. A couple other things they underestimated is the construction quality of those buildings. Over in the Middle East, not always is a building built up to our standards. So it had a little less rebar, a little wider spaced, a little more porous concrete. And so when that bomb went in, it blew a little bit harder than they expected it to. Nevertheless, it did its job, and it left a crater that opened up the tunnels. And then people could, the news media could look down in there and go, there's a whole bunch of tunnels. Now they crawl under the tunnels, they find the dormitories, they find the medical facilities, they find all this stuff, and they'll know exactly why. So the object of the game is this. It's to not only destroy it, but it's to expose it.
They know that there's a labyrinth of subterranean chambers here. They've discovered the opening of just one of them. And if you come a bit closer, you can see the top of what looks like the ceiling of one. And that's what is keeping the hopes of relatives alive, that somehow their loved ones have made it to that shelter.
يا معرف